Hello and welcome to Pirate Radio, where we are discussing each and every episode of Skeleton Crew, the brand new Star Wars series on Disney Plus. My name's Tim Blight, and joining me, Ashley Hartley.
Hey Dylan, excited to be here for more hyperspace shenanigans.
That's right, hyperspace shenanigans. That's how I too would describe it. This week, episode 3 of Skeleton Crew, titled very interesting as an astrogation problem. Fucking hell, I struggle to say that. Synopsis: a mysterious stranger offers to help her heroes, and it was directed by David Lowery. Of course, of Green Knight fame, I guess would be the Ghost Story. No? Did he do Green Knight?
Yes, Green Knight, Ghost Story, but then also Pete's Dragon, and I feel like he did something else that was like very weird.
Peter Pan and Wendy he directed.
There we go.
He also directed that Almost Christmas Story.
Yeah, check out A Very Explosion Network Christmas.
There you go. Tie into all that. There you go. Shout outs. All right. What did you make of this week's episode, Ash?
Great. They made very interesting story decisions that I think were, some other shows may have dragged out certain elements longer. Specifically whether Jude Law's a Jedi or not, and it's pretty apparent he's not. So they addressed that. They got everybody on board. They got you get to there's some fun kid stuff. Again, it's just like this is just a really fun show so far. We're having a good time. Again, we got a glimpse of the parents dealing with the aftermath of the kid's disappearance, and there's just so many questions about Aladdin and that kind of stuff in the world that they're from and that kind of stuff that is interesting to theorize about, and we get a couple more answers in this episode. But yeah, again, it's a case of what's happening next. But yeah, lots of fun. All again, like this, the puppetry work in this episode. Obviously, we've got the new character that's introduced this week. Yeah, the owl.
Best new character
so far.
I think so, to be honest. I fucking love that there's an owl alien creature. I thought it was great.
About time. It's
I love how much this show just gives alien and weird things, like, love it.
Yeah, so can't complain. Everything happy. Fucking Smee getting in Jude Law's face. Yeah. It's fucking not going to repeat myself, but
Yep.
I.
Oh.
Yeah. Good shit.
Yep. No, I thought it was a great episode as well. I too was somewhat surprised, but pleasantly surprised, I guess, with how they moved along the relationship and just narrative beat with Jude Law's character. His relationship with the kids. Like going into the episode, we knew there was going to be all this, like, he's a Jedi, all this sort of stuff. I sort of appreciate it, like, straight away, you've got Fern, who's like, this guy's full of shit. Then we have KB, who's like, this guy's full of shit. And, us as audience members, we, from the outset, we're like, this guy's full of shit. So the show, like, playing into that and be like, there's no point to really drag this out. But there's still plenty of questions about him, which is, can he actually use the Force? Was he using magnets? Was it, like, all these
as I've seen Paul Kamal. Yes, Kamal. I completely forgot he was a pretend Jedi in Obi-Wan. So
yeah,
I don't think it's a case of that again. But maybe he has mini tractor beams.
Could be. Yeah. I like how they just throw out all these things.
It's like,
they're like, it could be all these things. I'm like, you know what? It could be any
point.
of those things. Yeah, very good point. So I'm not going to go about that. But I mean, I guess that is like, because we know, as much as the kids, I think, to a degree, have now sort of accepted that it's a who's using whose relationship sort of thing. But as audience members, it's still like, okay, but can he use the Force? There's the big. Like, do you believe?
I think so. He's a Force user of some sort. I think one of the suggestions I've seen is that he was maybe a Padawan around the time of Order 66.
Yeah, makes sense.
And like, you know, he's got minimal force abilities. Because when he comes out and says very truthfully, I'm just like you, I'm lost, you know.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know where my home is. That felt true.
So, and then the other thing, I guess, that the like, why do they want to go? Why do all these pirates and stuff like freak out about their planet? Like Jude Law's character just says that it's because there's apparently big treasure there. But that's just a rumor thing, right? That there's no.
Yeah.
It's just a hidden away
It's a myth.
planet that this myth is it has treasure on it. What do you think? And it's really hard. Like, I don't know, like there's obviously something going on there, but then also the parents in the very small scene where we get with the parents all sitting there, I don't think they're aware of what secrets their own planet's holding.
No, absolutely not. They're like, hey, they went past the breach. We can't do anything. You know, we can't contact the Republic because reasons. You know what I mean?
Obviously, there's a head. I can't remember what they called the character. Like some whoever's in charge of the planet, right?
Yeah.
They called him something or other, but whoever that person is, the decisions they're making, they're aware of whatever is going on in the planet. And even, I think the other thing I found quite interesting is last week where we talked about it.
It's a supervisor. It's just a supervisor.
Okay. You know, we're saying like, you know, as everyone was, I guess, pointing out, you know, it's weird that all these like people are just basically doing analyst jobs, and even the kids in this week's episode, like, what's your parent do? Analyst. What's your parent like? What's your parents do? Oh, they're what? Like even they're like pointing out stuff that the audience are. Just, I found it the writing in this show quite interesting so far because it's done a pretty good job at like teeing up things and then having the kids talk about them sort of after the audience would realize them or probably be thinking the same things, which I thought was quite good. Yeah, so then obviously you get the small scene with the kids, you get the relationship between all of them. The only thing I'd say is like, do you reckon that we're going to get to a stage where there's a break here where, you know, maybe Wim doesn't believe that he's not a Jedi because he's so hell bent on it, and there could be a split between the kids. Maybe Neil ends up on a different side. You know?
Maybe. I think there's little interesting tidbits that have kind of been dropped so far. So, I think one interesting thing with the scene with the parents is that they say KB's got a medical condition.
Who?
So
KB. Oh.
KB.
Yeah.
So you know, what is that? You know, I don't know. I feel like Win and the lead girl, what's her name? They're both so headstrong. You know, I feel like they're constantly going to be at each other on opposite sides. So, Fern, you know. So, I don't know. I feel like Neil's, you know, he's ride or die. He'll stick by his bow. He'll stick by his bow. You know.
Do you reckon we'll see some more of the characters that we saw in this one, especially Kim or whatever we're saying?
I hope so. I mean, obviously she was there mostly to do kind of an exposition dump of like why Atten is like this special planet. It's like it was one of the 9 jewels of the Old Republic. It was hidden because it had some sort of wonder about it. But all the other jewels have been destroyed, and you know, kind of narrow. It's kind of weird. Like she's narrowed it down. She gave him a chip to fly away to. So next week are they just going to be at Atten? Probably not. But yeah,
well, that's what I was going to say. Where do you reckon? Where does next week's episode?
I don't know. Maybe they just end up at a planet that seems like it's very similar to Adan, but you know,
I mean, next week's episode's the
it's
Daniels.
the Daniels episode, so that's very exciting. Just on the pure technical basis, forgetting all the story stuff. But yeah,
do you reckon that they're doing an episode that's either because there's several ways you could get
playing to their strengths? Yeah.
What is their strength? Is it weird shit or
yes?
Is it
humorous?
Or is it like maybe they've got them to do more action-based stuff after all the experience they got?
Yeah, could be that too.
Maybe it's an episode with a lot of like fighting. And
I suspect it'll be a mixture of everything, you know. So that's very exciting. So, yeah, going back, I think them escaping the spaceport was really exciting as well. Was really well shot. They're bickering about whether they should leave Jude Law there, and like he's flying back on the, on the I don't know, space porter in the background and that kind of stuff. And then just fucking up every single spaceship at that place, trying to snap off this fuel line. Really good.
Which is like the you can't go to hyperspace while attached to light speed while attached to something. It'll zoom and it just fucking that.
It just snaps and a fucking cable comes and smashes
crazy way everywhere. Yeah.
So, we're just establishing what you can do in traveling in hyperspace. Obviously, the biggest switch up that we've seen was obviously in episode 8, with the Holdo maneuver.
I think the other thing I really liked, just doing all the escape sequence and stuff, is but when they're on the ship going there for the first time, like just the which is your ship? And they're like, oh, it's a piece of shit or whatever they say, and he's like, it can't be that, and then they're like approach, he's like, not that one,
and like, I've never seen a live action version of Stink Lines.
Yeah, it literally looked like the ship smell. Like, yeah, it's good.
Good shit. Good. Yeah.
There was a lot of subtle like stuff there than them tricking him to go back. Well, not tricking him, but like having him go back was funny. Watching him come back, and then even like the part where like he drinks eats all the food he's made, and they're like, what the kids are all watching him, like,
just watching,
super fucking close, hungry. Yeah. And then when he finishes it and like passes it to Smee, he's like, clean this up, Joy, and just Smee being like, I'll fucking smack you, mate.
But there's more in the pot. He's not a monster.
And then they're like, there's more in the pot, and they all like, go get something.
So he's doing nice things for them, like feeding him and keeping him alive. And
he's got to keep him alive. That's the only way you can get to
his
treasure or whatever. So, also shout out to that other random person who, like Captain or whatever, when he's like trying to get the thing, is like,
yeah,
he's like, oh, I always enjoyed working for you. Anyway, I'll probably have to dob you in now and all this.
Do you know who that was?
No, it was
Alfred Molina.
Really?
Yeah,
that's funny. Okay, wait, that's a random cameo, isn't it? Does he have like a relationship with him, I guess.
John Watts directed No Way Home, so
yeah, I guess maybe that's it.
Yeah, do we?
Anything else from this week's episode?
It was cool that he just got all these kids to like fire on X-wings.
Yeah, I like seeing that
Neil was flying the ship.
Just like Neil flying the ship. Like him running around pressing the buttons, like like just seeing the inner workings of the ship, like ships a little bit more is always fun in Star Wars, I think.
Yeah, just the design and obviously,
how stuff's spaced out. And
you just knew where everything was, naturally.
I guess he just presumes like there's like the ship layout has to mean something,
No, I just think, I think the humor is definitely something that's working really well in this series. Like, the classic, you guys, it's going to be a while before we get here. You should all go to sleep. I'm not tired. Smash cut to
kids. Smash cut to kids off sleep. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and all the, she's I'm worried she's going to backstab me. And the blank looks. You'll understand when I'm older. That kind of stuff. Yeah, I think it's a lot of fun. It's very funny. It's not a lot to complain. It's just hitting it on all these levels. I don't think it's like.
Not seeing many people talk about the show so far. 3 episodes in, 2 weeks in, which.
Why do you? It's crazy. I think probably because felt like they've been burnt the last few Star Wars series.
But then how about the people who really liked most of the Star Wars series? Like, why aren't they?
They're like, I really liked the last Star Wars series, and they cancelled it.
Yeah. Well, no. Well, yeah. So you got.
And also, maybe it's a weird time to launch a show like this.
Possibly, yeah.
Because
I feel like you got 2 types of people, right? You got those like us who like the Acolyte, like watch that and like it. And then you got the people who watched the Acolyte and said it was woke and they hate it, right? But then before that, a lot of those people actually liked Obi-Wan and Ahsoka and all these other, like the Mandalorian. So none of those people are watching this, though, it seems, or at least that's not my general vibe.
Or maybe you can't tell because the search algorithm on Blue Sky is not working great.
I mean, that is definitely a point. Like,
yeah, I don't know what Nielsen ratings or stuff like on that end, but I feel like, I'm happy. I'm enjoying it. And that's all that matters. They should continue to keep making shows that I like and I enjoy.
I mean, that's fair. All right, thank you for joining us this week's episode of Pirate Radio. Of course, we'll be back next week to discuss episode 4. Looking forward to see how the Daniels episode of Skeleton Crew plays out on Disney Plus. Until then, check out Explosion Network, and of course, you can follow us on the aforementioned Blue Sky at explosionnetwork.com. Thank you. Goodbye.